Hey guys, so I thought I'd review Blood Mania. I just got done watching this from the Vinegar Syndrome Two Terrifying Super Shockers double feature, along with Point of Terror. And so, yes, I'm talking about Blood Mania. First off, I'll read a description. It says, first in Robert Vincent O'Neill's Blood Mania, Peter Carpenter stars as Craig, lover of the unstable Victoria Maria de Aragon, who's very keen to see her wealthy father reach an early grave so she can inherit his fortune. Deciding to speed up the process, she concocts a doubtful plan for his demise, only to be met with some unexpected obstacles. Playing like a sex and violence-drenched blood opera, Blood Mania is a mind-bending, driving oddity that keeps you guessing until its final shocking twist. So, Blood Mania from 1970. It's two screenshots there. And so let's get into this movie. It wasn't bad for 1970. I think it's one of Robert Vincent O'Neill's early movies. I think it's his first horror film, in fact. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but anyway. Decent for what, 1970. Getting into it, so it starts off with a dream sequence, which I didn't even know was, because it didn't really look like it. I mean, I think maybe they could have had that if they visually illustrated that better or demonstrated that better. You know what I'm trying to say? If they implied as a dream sequence better, I think it would have flowed better into the movie, because you have at the introduction, you have this lady being chased by this man. She's walking, going about, trying to avoid him. It's kind of a slow chase, not really fast, but there's a build-up because he does catch up with her, and the lighting in that, there's blues and there's reds. So it reminds me of Giallos. That would very much experiment with color. Something like Blood and Black Lace, maybe even Slaughter Hotel. Those kinds of movies. So maybe O'Neill got inspiration from Giallos in that regard, because that kind of brings you in, and then you find out that the guy dreaming was the father of Victoria. So it's like, it's kind of a neat dream, because to me, I was thinking, okay, whose perspective is this from? Is it from the the woman's perspective, or the man? Because it kind of shifts perspectives in the dream. And I thought, okay, this is different. This is unique. And it really, like I said, it really gets you into the movie and makes you want to keep watching. So it's effective in that regard. And it sets everything up for you. Like I said, it makes you want to keep watching. Like I said, I think a problem I have with that, I think they could have done a better job showing it was a dream, because I couldn't really tell. I thought it was actually happening, But I think the reason for the dream is because, Victoria being unstable, she wants her dad dead. And you never really get the impression that he knows that she wants him dead. But it does kind of, the fact that she wants him dead does kind of not work in her favor, because she's having conflicts with this other lady named Gail. When, after the dad dies, they're figuring out how to distribute the inheritance money. And that kind of works against Victoria, because she and Gail argue over how they're going to have the money split between themselves. And that doesn't end well for Gail. She does die. I'm not going to say how she dies. But her death is really the only thing in the movie with blood. So I think there could have been more blood, maybe a little more gore. But at the same time, I think too much would have thrown the movie off from that kind of, not really art house, but more just weird perspective. Because I think you can have blood in a weird kind of movie, in a strange kind of movie like Blood Mania. But I think too much feels just like gore for gore's sake. So O'Neill had to find that balance, and he had 12 days to shoot the movie. I watched his interview on this, and he's saying it's a 12-day shoot, and he did kind of learn from his mistakes from previous movies. He was saying that. So I haven't seen any of his other movies, so I don't know exactly what mistakes he made. But if he felt that he had too much gore in a previous movie, maybe that's why he didn't have it as much in Blood Mania. And another thing I want to talk about is the music, because you get the calm, peaceful music and the suspenseful music that's just very piercing. It's effective, but it's mentally stimulating, and scenes where there's not a lot of dialogue, the music really helps those scenes. You know, you see Victoria in front of a mirror. You see sex scenes between her and Craig. You know, you have the calm and peaceful music. Then it's very simple, but I like it. It really adds to those scenes. And like it's nothing really complex in the suspenseful in the music, nor is the calm music. Nothing really complex. It didn't have to be. You know, it did the job, and it was kind of trippy, and in that aspect, the music was kind of trippy. Not really a trippy movie per se. There were trippy sequences like the dream sequence. There's love scenes between Craig and Victoria, which I thought were, which fit in the movie, didn't detract from what was happening from the plot. And there's a scene there's a couple scenes where you see Victoria painting. You see the easel, but you do see the painting once. And I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to spoil that. But it does keep you interested in because you want to know. I want to know at least what she was painting, because the characters do kind of describe it, but it's not what you think it is. So I that was really interesting, because I thought maybe she works on more than one. Maybe she's working on more than one painting. I figured that could have been the impossibility, but I don't think that was the impression that O'Neill meant to give off. Because they don't say in the movie that she's working on more than one painting. And I think if she was, it would have affected the movie differently than it turns out it was just one. And that she's been working on it the whole time. She's really putting her time and effort into the painting. And yeah. And when so what else was I going to talk about? Oh, since I was speaking of Victoria and Gale, so there's kind of a build up to their conflict, because when everybody's figuring out how to distribute the inheritance money among themselves, Victoria she's just yelling at Gale. She's just freaking out, and she doesn't get taken care of by the nurses. And I thought, okay, it was kind of unexpected, But it did say she was unstable, but I didn't think she'd be that unstable. Because even Craig's kind of unstable, because yes, he has Victoria, that's his girlfriend, but he's interested in other women. So he's not satisfied with her, was the impression I got, even though, he's doing this behind her back kind of thing. All the sleeping around, all the messing around. It's not exactly explicit. There's one, really rough sex scene, but even then, that's not that bad. Not that explicit. But everything else is slow, passionate sex. And that works better, I think, for this kind of movie, is the slow, like I was saying, the love scenes between Craig and Victoria. There's the way those were paced. They were fine the way they were. I didn't have a problem with those. But getting back to when Victoria and Gale were, the beginning of their conflict. So Gale actually gets involved with Craig, and so to me, that is a contributing factor to their conflict because Victoria's with the nurses, she's getting taken care of, and so Gale and Craig are spending time with each other. So there's a jealousy there, because yes, Victoria is unstable, but she cares about Craig. She wants to be with him. And yet Gale just doesn't care. and Craig, I get the impression that he doesn't either because he's like, oh, I want to spend time with you. So there's that aspect of it, which I don't know what to think of that. I mean, it wasn't sleazy, but I feel like they could have developed that better. But, Gale and I mean, yeah, I know Gale dies, but I think her death would have been had more of an impact if she had a deeper relationship with Craig. And that's my opinion anyway. I mean, maybe other people who have seen the movie can comment on that. Because I'm curious to know what other people think of that, love triangle, if you will. As I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. And I have to watch this movie again, definitely. Because there's a TV versions for both movies. Blood Mania and Point of Terror. I didn't know this was a 3-disc set when I bought it. I thought it was just 2. But no, Vinegar Syndrome went all out, as they always do. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I mean, there's a blackmailer. He's trying to talk Peter into an abortion for $50,000. And Peter doesn't want to do it because he's a doctor. So he's taking care of Victoria's dad. And she is as well. What was I going to say about that? I thought that... Shit. I thought that... Oh, because what I remember... Because Peter was trying to depend on... or not Peter. Peter Carpenter is the actor. Craig was trying to depend on the death of Victoria's father for the $50,000 inheritance, but that didn't quite work out either. So that just kind of get back to this kind of not work in his favor. But I don't know. It's just one of those movies, like I said, I'd probably enjoy it more if I watched it a second time. Because it was decent. I know some people, I've read reviews on it, they didn't like it, but could have been worse. I've seen worse movies, and I'd say check out Blood Mania if you're into exploitation films. It is a kind of a slow pace, but it's only 80 minutes, I think. Something like that. 85 minutes, somewhere around there. It's short, and I got through it and watched it, and check it out. I think I'll be taking a look at Point of Terror next, and there'll be an update video coming soon. Let's say within the next week or so. I have a few things I'm going to show in that. But I hope you've enjoyed this review. I'm going to give this movie, I'd say 6 out of 10. Decent, like I said. Check it out if you're interested. I think you can still get this double feature from Vinegar Syndrome and probably Amazon. I don't recall seeing it on Amazon, but look around if you want to check these movies out. And thanks for watching. I'll be putting this review up tonight or tomorrow.